Hey there, fellow drivers. Let's talk about something we all need but might not fully understand. Car insurance. Think of car insurance as a safety net for when you're on the road. Just like you buckle up your seatbelt before driving, car insurance is there to protect you financially if the unexpected happens. Whether it's a fender bender, a major accident, or someone stealing your sweet ride, car insurance can help you navigate those bumpy roads. We'll cover everything from the different types of coverage to how to choose the right policy for your needs and budget. So, let's dive right in and demystify the world of car insurance. Now, you might be wondering, why is car insurance such a big deal? Well, for starters, it's the law in most places. Driving without insurance can lead to hefty fines, license suspension, or even worse, legal troubles. But beyond the legal requirements, car insurance provides crucial financial protection for you and others on the road. Without insurance, you'd be personally responsible for covering the costs of damages to other vehicles, property, and even medical expenses for anyone injured. Car insurance acts as a buffer, protecting you from these potential financial burdens. One of the biggest hurdles to understanding car insurance is the jargon. Deductibles, liability, comprehensive coverage, it can feel like you need a dictionary just to decipher your policy. But don't worry, we're here to break it down into plain English. We'll explain the key terms you need to know, such as liability coverage, which protects you if you cause harm to others, and collision coverage, which covers damages to your own vehicle in an accident. Understanding these terms is crucial for selecting the right coverage and making informed decisions about your policy. Alright, let's dive into the first major pillar of car insurance coverage for others. This part is all about responsibility, about making sure that if you're ever at fault in an accident, you're not leaving someone else high and dry with a mountain of bills. Think of it like this: you're driving along, minding your own business, and suddenly, bam, an accident. Maybe you took your eyes off the road for a second too long, or perhaps you misjudged a turn. Whatever the reason, if you're found at fault, you're responsible for the damages and injuries caused. That's where liability coverage swoops in like a superhero. It helps cover the costs associated with the other party's injuries and property damage. Remember, accidents can happen to anyone, even the most careful drivers. Section 2. Bodily Injury Liability. Protecting you when accidents happen. This one's pretty straightforward. It helps cover the medical expenses of people you injure in an accident where you're at fault. This could include the other driver, passengers in their car, pedestrians, cyclists, even someone sitting on a park bench if your car somehow careens off the road. Medical bills after a car accident can be astronomical, especially if there are long-term injuries or ongoing rehabilitation needs. Without bodily injury liability coverage, you could be on the hook for those costs, and trust me, they can easily bankrupt you. This coverage is typically expressed in a per-person, per-accident format, like this: $50,000/$100,000. So, in this example, your insurance would pay up to $50,000 for each person's injuries, with a total cap of $100,000 for all injuries combined. Section 3. Property damage, liability, repairing more than just metal. This coverage steps in to help pay for the damage you cause to someone else's property in an accident where you're at fault. And no, we're not just talking about their car. This coverage also extends to things like fences, buildings, lampposts, mailboxes, you name it. Basically, if you hit it with your car and it's not yours, property damage liability might be there to help cover the repair or replacement costs. Think about it. You're driving down a narrow street, trying to squeeze past a parked car, and, oops, you sideswipe it, leaving a nasty dent. Property damage liability helps ensure that you're not stuck with the bill for those damages, allowing the other party to get their property fixed or replaced without having to empty their own pockets. Section 1. Coverage for you, because accidents don't always play fair. Okay, so we've talked about protecting others when you're at fault, but what about protecting yourself? Even if you're the safest driver on the planet, you can't control what other people do on the road. Accidents happen, and sometimes they're not your fault. That's where coverage for you comes in, providing a safety net for those Why me? Moments. In these situations where you're not at fault, you shouldn't be left footing the bill for your own medical expenses or car repairs. Section 2. Medical payments and PIP, your personal health shield. Let's start with medical payments coverage, also known as MedPay, and its close cousin, personal injury protection, or PIP. These coverages are all about taking care of you and your passengers if you're injured in a car accident, regardless of who caused it. MedPay typically covers medical expenses like hospital visits, ambulance rides, surgery, x-rays, and even funeral costs. PIP, on the other hand, often goes a step further than MedPay, covering things like lost wages if you can't work due to your injuries, rehabilitation costs, and even essential services like childcare or household help if you're unable to perform those tasks yourself. Section 3. Uninsured, underinsured motorist. Don't let others leave you hanging. Now, let's talk about a scary thought. Getting into an accident with someone who doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough insurance to cover your expenses. Sadly, this happens more often than you might think. That's where uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, often called UM/UIM, comes in to save the day. It steps in to help cover your costs when the other driver is either uninsured or underinsured and unable to fulfill their financial obligations after an accident. It's your protection against irresponsible drivers who don't play by the rules. Section 1. Coverage for your vehicle. Shielding your four-wheeled friend. Alright, we've covered protecting others and ourselves, but what about our beloved vehicles? Our cars are more than just hunks of metal. They're our trusty steeds, our freedom machines, our escape pods from the daily grind. And let's be honest, they can be expensive to fix or replace. That's where coverage for your vehicle comes in. Providing financial protection for your car itself in case of accidents, theft, vandalism, or those "oh no, a tree fell on my car" moments. Now there are two main types of coverage for your vehicle: comprehensive and collision. Let's start with comprehensive coverage, your car's best friend against the unexpected. This coverage is like having a superhero on your side, protecting your car from a whole laundry list of perils that are beyond your control. Think of it this way. You're sound asleep, dreaming of cruising down the Pacific Coast Highway, when suddenly, boom! A massive thunderstorm rolls in, unleashing its fury on your poor, unsuspecting car. Hailstones the size of golf balls pummel the hood, leaving a trail of dents. Comprehensive coverage also protects you from theft, vandalism, fire, animal collisions, and even riots. Now let's talk about collision coverage, your car's best friend when it comes to those oops moments. This coverage steps in to help pay for repairs or replacement of your vehicle if it's damaged in a collision with another vehicle or object. Think fender benders, parking lot mishaps, even those times when you accidentally back into a pole while trying to parallel park like a pro. We've all been there. Collision coverage is there to help you get your car fixed or in some cases replaced if the damage is beyond repair. It's about taking the sting out of those unexpected accidents and ensuring you're not left with a hefty repair bill that puts a dent in your wallet. Alright, we've covered the core elements of car insurance, protecting others, ourselves, and our vehicles. But what about those little extras, those optional add-ons that can make a big difference when you need them most? Think of them as the sidekicks of car insurance, providing additional layers of protection and peace of mind for those just-in-case scenarios. These optional coverages are like having a toolbox full of handy gadgets for your car insurance policy. They might not be essential for everyone, but they can be lifesavers in certain situations. First up, let's talk about gap insurance, a superhero in disguise for anyone who's financing or leasing their car. You see, when you finance or lease, you typically owe more on the car than its actual market value, especially in those early years. Now imagine this, you're driving your shiny new car, fresh off the lot, when suddenly disaster strikes. You're involved in a serious accident and your car is declared a total loss. The insurance company will only pay the car's actual cash value, which is less than what you still owe on your loan or lease. That's where gap insurance swoops in to save the day. It covers that pesky gap, paying the difference between what your car is worth and what you still owe, so you're not left drowning in debt after a total loss. Let's talk about two optional add-ons for convenience and peace of mind: rental car, reimbursement, and roadside assistance. Think of them as your on-the-go support system. Rental car reimbursement covers the cost of renting a car while yours is being repaired. It's like having a backup car on standby. Roadside assistance is your knight in shining armor for unexpected car troubles. It covers towing, jump starts, flat tire changes, lockout assistance, and fuel delivery. It's like having a personal mechanic on call. Okay, now that we've covered the different types of car insurance coverage, let's talk about choosing the right coverage limits for your policy. It's like picking the perfect avocado. Not too hard, not too soft, just right. Coverage limits are the maximum amount your insurance will pay for a claim. They're usually expressed in dollar amounts. Choosing the right limits balances financial protection and affordable premiums. Low limits save money but offer less protection. High limits offer more protection but cost more. Section 2. Decoding deductibles, balancing risk and reward. Now let's talk about deductibles, those mysterious figures that often leave people scratching their heads. A deductible is the amount you agree to pay out of pocket before your insurance coverage kicks in. Think of it like your share of the responsibility pie. Let's say you have a $500 deductible on your collision coverage, and you're involved in a fender bender that causes $2,000 in damage to your car. You'll pay the first $500 for repairs, and your insurance company will cover the remaining $1,500. Deductibles typically apply to coverage for your vehicle, like collision and comprehensive, but they can also apply to other types of coverage depending on your policy. Here's the catch. Deductibles are a balancing act between risk and reward. Choosing a higher deductible, like $1,000 instead of $500, will typically lower your monthly premiums because you're taking on more financial responsibility. Alright, we've covered the ins and outs of car insurance coverage. Now let's talk about comparing quotes. Just like shopping for shoes, don't settle for the first car insurance quote you receive. Shop around and compare quotes from multiple providers to find the best coverage at the best price. Think of it like a treasure hunt for affordable car insurance. Use comparison websites to get quotes from multiple insurers side by side. Visit insurers' websites directly or contact them by phone for accurate quotes and discounts. Don't be afraid to ask questions and negotiate. Insurance companies often work with you to find the best coverage and price. The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to find car insurance that fits your budget. Well folks, we've reached the end of our car insurance journey, and I hope you found it enlightening, or at least mildly diverting. We've covered a lot of ground, from the must-have coverages to those optional extras that can make a world of difference. But as with all things in life, the world of car insurance is constantly evolving. New technologies, changing driving habits, and a growing awareness of climate change are all shaping the future of how we insure our vehicles. Just like your trusty GPS guides you to your destination, let's navigate the road ahead and explore the exciting trends that will impact how we think about and purchase car insurance in the years to come. Get ready to say goodbye to the days of one-size-fits-all policies and hello to a new era of personalized coverage, data-driven insights, and a focus on sustainability. The future of car insurance is here, and it's looking pretty slick. One of the most significant trends shaping the future of car insurance is the rise of telematics and usage-based insurance, or UBI. Remember those black boxes some airlines used to have to track flights? Well, telematics is kinda like that, but for your car. It involves using technology to collect data about your driving habits, like how fast you drive, how hard you brake, and how many miles you clock each day. This data is then used to create a personalized risk profile for you, which can translate into lower premiums if you're a safe and responsible driver. Think of it like having a personal driving coach in your pocket, providing feedback on your driving skills and rewarding you for good behavior. UBI is gaining traction as a way to make car insurance fairer and more reflective of individual driving habits. So, if you're a safe and responsible driver, UBI could be your ticket to lower premiums. Another major trend shaking up the car insurance industry is the rise of electric vehicles, or EVs. With their sleek designs, eco-friendly credentials, and whisper-quiet engines, EVs are no longer a futuristic fantasy but a reality on our roads. But ensuring these high-tech marvels comes with its own set of considerations. For starters, EVs often come with a higher price tag than their gas-guzzling counterparts, which means higher repair costs in case of an accident. Specialized parts, particularly the battery pack, can be expensive to replace, and not all repair shops are equipped to handle EV repairs. This has led insurers to develop specialized EV insurance policies that take these factors into account. But it's not all doom and gloom for EV owners. Insurers are also offering discounts and incentives to encourage the adoption of electric vehicles, recognizing their environmental benefits and potential to reduce accidents. So if you're considering making the switch to an EV, be sure to shop around for car insurance that caters specifically to your electric ride.